Hey everyone, what's up? I am back in full effect. I've been looking to relocate the camera, but in the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and get into the video. So yeah, let's get into it. This video is all about pharmacy technician and what I used to do. So I used to be a pharmacy technician. I know I see a lot of people asking, what do pharmacy technicians do? Is a career path worth it? Should they do it or not? So I'm going to give you my blunt opinion on this. I hope this does not steer you from it. This is just my opinion. Everyone's life and path is different. So first, let's get into the good and bad side of being a pharmacy technician. Being in a pharmacy setting, when I say pharmacy setting, it goes for retail, hospital settings, institutes, pharmacy order. It's called mail order. Anything regarding the pharmacy, you're going to learn something every single day. And the FDA makes sure you learn something. When you're in the pharmacy, it's a lot of clerk work. So you can't just go into it thinking that you're just gonna count tablets, count pills, and put a label on a medication and that's it. When you're working in the pharmacy, you become like a clerk. I'm gonna explain a lot of things that I used to do while in the pharmacy, but you become like an administrative assistant. You become like a human resources person. You just become a legit clerk. You deal with a lot of things every single day. Sometimes when you're billing with insurance companies, you have different codes. They update their codes quite a bit. When it comes to diabetes, with different insurance companies, they want you to put an ICD code in. That's in regards to the insulin they're using. If you're doing for medical supplies such as a wheelchair or compression socks, if you're doing those, then they also have codes for them. So it depends on what department you're in. You learn something every single day. You don't have to remember these codes, but where we were at my job, we used to keep cheat sheets, and the cheat sheets would be right on the keyboard or right behind the computer or right in the paper stock, to where you could see all the passwords, all the ICD codes for any particular diabetic supplies that they were using. So yeah, that's an idea of
you guys are gonna be learning new things every single day.
Let's just say you type in the computer that the patient came in for lisinopril 10 milligrams 30 tablets for 30 days. Normally, that's how it generally goes. The insurance may recommend something if they don't want to cover it. Most of the times it's really expensive medications. If they don't want to pay for it, then you have to do a prior authorization. A prior authorization is what it is: prior authorization. So you need prior authorization. The insurance really have to know what it is and that it is necessary. And what the prior authorization normally do is the insurance company send us a rejection code, and the rejection says need approval from the doctor. Most of the time you can go into the computer, I think it's number 7, and you can put dispense as written, because the doctor will circle on the prescription sheets. If the doctors do not circle DAW, which is dispense as written, you automatically make it become a generic. But if the doctor circle on the computer or do a DAW code, that means you must use the brand. If the doctor does, you must use the brand because that's what the doctor recommended. And the insurance company will send us the rejection code. And if the codes that we do have on our computer system do not go in to be approved, then you would have to contact a doctor. And then, you know, I'm not gonna lie, a lot of those nurses are really slow about, you know, contacting the insurance companies. Some of them are and some aren't. If you're in your job and they know that you guys always come through, then that's a reason, that's a way to keep in mind if you guys are always building relationships with different doctors and stuff. So meaning we generally just fax it over and call it a day. But if we have time on our hands, which, you know, if I found myself having like a moment or two, I'll get on the phone and call the doctor's office to say, hey guys, I sent over a prescription for yada yada yada, this patient. Can you guys go ahead and contact the insurance company so we can get this going? Don't forget that you guys will also be standing a lot. So some people have stools and some don't. In the first pharmacy that I worked in, there was a stool there. I worked in like 2 pharmacies before I went to the hospital, I think. I worked for private owned pharmacies. Like the independent pharmacies is the private owned pharmacies, what I call it, is because no one owns them. They pretty much do what they want. And if you find a lot of pharmacies that are independent, most of them are pharmacists that have worked at CVS or Walgreens. They learned the ropes of how it go. And then they went and decided to open up a store for themselves because they saw potential in it. I saw it so many times. People that I used to work for, they sold their company, but I have to tell you, they do pay more. When I say pay more, they pay you like $5 an hour more. Okay. So anyways, yeah, we also got like bonuses, and it was just a lot of perks. We had parties, you know, it was really fun. But so now I'm gonna go to the hospital setting. So when you work in a hospital, you're gonna be standing up a lot, okay? You guys are gonna be standing up a lot, and you're gonna be back and forth, especially like if you work in a major hospital. I worked in a recovering hospital. It was more like people that the hospital couldn't do nothing for them anymore, so they would send them to a a short-term, long-term kind of hospital where, I'm just gonna say it plainly, people die at these hospitals quite a bit. They have internal illnesses that just doctors can't do nothing for them anymore, so they're just being taken care of until they can get on their feet, or they just wean themselves out at the hospital. It was really like a nice setting, but there were so many rules because the FDA and who else used to come in, we used to get audited quite a bit. It's in the private owned pharmacies, but in the hospitals, they always had their stuff together, and we never really, when you're in the hospital, you really don't have to worry about too many of the rules and stuff, because you have administration, which is downstairs, the hiring process, human resources. They normally deal with the paperwork behind everything, but when you're working in a private owned pharmacy, everything comes to you. But like you guys are like generally the general, everything. Another thing is you guys don't have to go to school that long. Like you don't have to go to school for a year or 2 years or even 4 years, because I only went to school for it for like 6 months. It was like a little bit of training, but you can also work inside of CVS or Walgreens or wherever that you, the place that they have instructor license. You guys could work like 500 hours inside the pharmacy setting, and you can get licensed that way. Now for your certification board, I would recommend you guys getting, not only being state registered, but being more certified. When you're certified, you get more money than being state registered, because that means you're an all around and you could do more things. Or you can work like 6 months and become, you know, take the test and sit down for it. So the bad part of being in a pharmacy is when you're working in an independent pharmacy setting, independent and working inside of the corporate pharmacy, you get irate customers. These customers are no joke. You deal with, I'm gonna say this, I hope it does not offend you guys. So you deal with sick people mentally, and you deal with sick people physically. You deal with addicts, non-addicts. You just have to know, it's more like you just have to know how to run the show, because pretty much the pharmacist is in the back waiting to see what you're gonna do with the customer, and is it too early to fill for some? and you have to make those judgments. You have to be the decision maker when it comes to mediating between the patient and the pharmacy, because you pretty much, even though the pharmacists, they're getting dough, okay? Even though they're doing that, like, you're the mediator between what can come in and what come out. Sometimes pharmacy let things flow. You just have to like keep your hands clean of that stuff. But yeah, you deal with crazy customers, and then when it comes to the pharmacy, you will be dealing with everyone, regardless of background. You have to deal with everyone. You can't treat everyone the same, because not all the customers are the same. You know, you have to give everyone an equal experience, but you do have to handle a couple of customers when it comes to them filling early and being pushy when they're trying to fill their C2s, because they could be a little pushy. And if you just make solid decisions when saying, no, we can't fill this, sorry, and just stick with your word, don't go back and forth with them, hand them back their prescription, and just say come back whenever the day is approved for them to take the prescription, and make sure that they are a regular customer, because patients do doctor shop and they pharmacy shop. And if you go onto the database for the pharmacy, you'll see the last place that they fill their prescription. Like if you guys run the patient's controlled substance insurance for, like, let's just say it's oxycodone, you run it and the insurance says too soon, and you know that in your database in the pharmacy software system it's been 30-35 days, and they got like a 30-day supply last time, and they wanted to fill with you again within that window, and the pharmacy don't let it go through, is because they filled somewhere else in that they filled another prescription not using their insurance, because sometimes they try to play the insurance company with paying cash and letting the insurance company they'll pay a month, and the insurance company will pay a month for that thing. So they try to like play the system, so you have to be in control of that, okay? So here's the thing that a lot of people, we as pharmacy technicians, should take in mind. You're dealing with, when I say you're dealing with everyone, you're dealing with everyone. You have the doctor's office, which is your family doctor. You have a pain doctor. You have chiropractors, gynecologists. You have the foot doctor, the ear doctor, nose doctor, the eye doctor. The hospital doctors. Prostate doctors, cancer doctors. They have their own specialty, but all the patients are coming to you for their drugs. So you have to be a variety of a person to deal with different things and how people operate, because even though they're different doctors, you have 100 doctors, they're all sending you patients to the one pharmacy. So that you have to take into consideration, and it'll come natural to you. It's just a bit confusion, and it's a bit confusing, and it could be a lot like overwhelming when you're first at it, but it'll be second nature to you if you just stick with it. You may have people that don't want to train you, but you just got to keep asking questions, and keep asking questions. So again, you must show kindness and sympathy to these patients, but you have to also be patient with yourself and don't overwhelm yourself. If it's something that you don't know, don't forget that the pharmacist is right there. They can help you. Like, they're getting paid the most money anyway, so they can go back there and they can help you if you have any questions, because they are the PIC in that, in those couple of hours that you're there. You can also become certified in different areas, or you can actually become a compounding pharmacy tech, which I was a compounder. I was a non-sterile, IV and sterile. You can be a professional in billing. You can also work in nuclear meds, which I was going to work in nuclear meds, but they was telling me that, being in a nuclear meds and the chemo, that it may change my DNA. So I kind of like withdraw, because I didn't find it that necessary for me to risk my life, my DNA, because I don't have children right now, so I don't want none of that jacked up. Now, if I had like 3 or 4 kids and my tubes tied, I probably wouldn't mind working in nuclear and the chemo. But since it like scratches out your DNA a little bit and tweak it, then I just kind of like passed on it. I'm just giving you all the raw truth. There's like a lot of, even working with compounding, but I think I'm gonna get into that with you in just a moment. But yeah, just keeping that in mind that there are options out there, but you have to do your research before doing it and make sure that it's something that you want to do. Okay, like working in there, you can make money from being the pharmacy technician, but not a lot of money. You can balance yourself, like what I'm doing now. Like, you know, you can live off $19 an hour. But like to make like $45, $50 an hour, or to make like $100,000 a year, believe me, I would not be sitting here. I'd probably be in like a better situation. But yeah, you don't make a lot of money, but you make enough money to live above poverty level, you know what I'm saying? So you can make like 40, you can make between 30, 40, 45. So in between there. I know technicians that are making, if you work in the hospital, hospitals do pay. I'm gonna suggest to you guys, if you guys work in like a city hospital somewhere, you know, at least have them start you out with $23 an hour, because I know that, you know, I should do IVs, and it was a vitamin IV. I forgot what it's called, but people that don't eat, they can't eat, they're in ICU, especially patients like this that are in COVID. They need to sustain, and then they get on the liquid diets, and what they do is they get a drop bag, which is the IV bag. And what we used to do is glove up, mask up, do all that stuff, and then you would inject all the vitamins that are needed for a daily sufficiency for your body. And then some patients wouldn't eat, so they would have to go off a drop bag or a drip bag. Yeah, and you make a lot of money from that because you have to be really cautious when it comes to that. I probably should have recorded myself a little bit when I was working in there, but it's fine. Just have a general idea and then look up some stuff on YouTube and you'll see. It's a career, if you can make a career, but it takes so long to, like, you know, get up there. By that time you could have like went to school for like another 4 years and advanced yourself, and, you know, becoming like a pharmacist. A pharmacist here in Florida is about 6 years. And if you guys have time, you stand with your parents, or if you stand with a spouse, it doesn't mind you going to school for the 6 years, sacrificing for you to make money. There's things in that. There's a lot of opportunity there. I see a lot of pharmacists to work from home, and the minimum I saw was like $110,000 a year to work from home for consultation. So when it comes to the pharmacy technician position, don't forget that I want you guys to know that if you look online, if you go to Monster, LinkedIn is like where you legit, like if you have a LinkedIn account, if you don't have one, I would recommend you getting one. Clean yourself up a little bit. Like if you go to church one day and you have to take a selfie, take that selfie picture, because that's what a LinkedIn picture is. I would recommend you guys just getting a LinkedIn account, and even Indeed. You can look on Indeed too, and you will see so many jobs that are looking for pharmacy technicians, and just stick it out. You know, you gotta learn. I think people get frustrated when they don't understand. Like when they don't learn, or not willing to learn or try, then it becomes a little frustrating. But I've saw it over the years, and it's just, you know, being able to tell yourself, no, we're gonna stay here and learn this. You know, that's what it's about. And like I said, the pharmacy hospital pays a little more than you know, corporate pharmacies, which is Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid. Publix pays okay. Publix pays a little more than the other places, but independent pharmacies generally pay more, but they have a limited amount of what they offer. Some companies may offer insurance, and then they don't offer 401k, so you have to balance that stuff out. So you have to figure out what you want to do, because CVS and Walgreens and the hospital settings, all of them have that 401k along with the insurance to cover their employees. You can also be a pharmacy technician instructor. So Don't forget that either. While I was working as a pharmacy technician, I compounded for like 5 to 7 years. Like 5 to 7 years. I made so much stuff. You work like a raw. I work with raw dog chemicals, like raw. You know, like the flour powder, the some cooking oil. Like it was so concentrated that you have to be careful. So you guys are complaining about wearing masks. I had to wear that mask for 7 years before they even mentioned wearing masks, because I was wearing it and I had to glove up and you put on the gown and you put on the hat. Like I did that stuff. So it doesn't bother me to wear a mask. You know, I made lip glosses because I already know how they're made, like these. I used to make them from, I would make the consistency. Like Lori would say, hey, we want some lip gloss and we want to give it to our clients and our customers. I made shaving cream. Sometimes, like the pharmacist, he was the owner. He had, sometimes he would have parties, you know, like Christmas parties, or he would have like birthday parties. He was Jewish, so he would have like a bar mitzvah. And then for the guys, he would make a small container of shaving cream. So I made shaving cream. I would do, what do you call it? I did like raw testosterone. I think sometimes that's why I be flipping up and down. Like I'm moody because I had dealt with that stuff for a couple of years. You know, it was raw chemicals like the raw powder from testosterone, raw progesterone, the raw estradiol, the raw estriol, like the hormone replacement therapy powders. I've done that, and sometimes I used to be really moody. You know, obviously it's hormone replacement therapy, so it's a lot that goes on into it. And I used to make progesterone suppository creams, like compounding pharmacy technician for the pregnant women. Really touched my heart because I used to help women save their babies, because I would make progesterone, like 200 milligrams of progesterone, and you know what the women have to do is take like a suppository. So I make the suppository, you melt it, you know, you mix it or whatever, and then you know you put it in the refrigerator so that it doesn't melt, because the suppository obviously melt with the body heat from you know, our temperature. So in order for the women to keep their baby, you take like the 200 milligram, you pop it off, and then for the first 3 months, so like some women that can't hold their baby in the first trimester, they will come to me, and I'm just like so proud of that part, because I feel like I was part of the journey that helped get some humans here, because the batches that I always made, like the women never lost their baby. And they used to have it for the first trimester, and after the first trimester, the baby stayed there for the whole 9 months, and it's just really touched my heart. So that was like one of the reasons why I did that for a long time. I can go like deeper, but I just don't want to take it off why you should become a pharmacy technician, or if it's the thing for you. I trained a lot of people in the pharmacy. I trained them in the pharmacy retail setting. I also trained them in the compound area and the retail setting. Another thing you have to like be aware of, you're gonna be training people that come in. There's a lot of interns that you have to deal with too. Like people always intern, and it's something that you just have to keep in mind. Another thing is inventory. So this is very important. No one really tells you guys about this, but this is very important to the pharmacy, because they do not play. I don't care what platform you decide to work into, but you need to listen to this. So if you have a moment, listen carefully. So when it comes to the inventory, so when I worked in the first 2 pharmacies, like our minimum order was, let's see, because I wrote it down here. Our minimum order was like $16,000, and that's a day. If you're spending less than $16,000 a day, then that's a problem, because they want to know why is there. It's just something to keep in mind, that you have patients coming in. These drugs are, obviously we all know these drugs are really expensive. You can have insulin that's $800. You just one tube of insulin, like this could be $800, and that's just one thing. Okay, so just imagine 8 boxes of these, and then we're dealing with 400 to 500 customers a day. Why there is no money being spent? Like what's going on? Somebody's under ordering. Are we going to have inventory? What's on back order? So you have to keep these things in mind. watch the money that you're spending. If the pharmacist or the accountant tell you, hey, do not go over, you know, $20,000 a day, then, you know, you kind of keep in mind, let the pharmacist know, hey, you know, we somehow back on the order, we need some more medication. Then you start ordering from other places. I ordered from Amerisource. You order from Amerisource, Bergen, McKesson was like our main people, and you also have like several other odd-offs, people that wasn't there. So again, inventory. I'm not finished with inventory because I want you guys to know this. Another thing when it comes to inventory is that you have things that are on back order. And if it's on back order means that, you know, you can place an order in, but your purchaser, the people that you're buying from, they can't get it in. But they should normally have a date beside the medication of when it's going to come in. If not, they'll substitute one for you, but they'll still give you that price for what's been given. And you also have like the item numbers, so you have to keep that in mind too. Inventory is very important, guys. Like my inventory, because you know I used to order a lot of things. My inventory used to be about $30,000 a day. When I tell you these pharmacies make money, they make money. You know, I saw a lot. Sometimes it helps me withdraw back because it was important to know. And I really hope this video is helping someone, but you guys, just when you start working in the pharmacy, keep inventory in mind, because inventory is pretty much bread and butter. And, you know, depending on what time the medications come in, just keeping that stuff in mind, especially C2s. We used to have to order those as well. And you also have to account to the state to let them know, hey, I just ordered like 100 bottles of hydrocodone. You know, you have to report for all that thing. One tablet matters. If you drop one tablet, you're gonna get in trouble if they can't find it. So you have to keep account of inventory. I'm telling you, inventory is a big thing, okay? Big. I wanted to tell you guys, don't forget chemotherapy and sometimes a nuclear medication. It can change your DNA. It can alter and tweak it. So if you're just be cautious about going into it. If that's what, you know, you want to do, just be very careful. You can't be lax. You can't get too complacent and comfortable. So remember, guys, you know, Donald Trump was talking about like the hydrochloroquine. So I wanted to tell you guys, hydrochloroquine, I'm probably going to screenshot it and show you what it looked like. So also finasteride. I used to compound finasteride quite a bit. You can't really touch finasteride with your hand. It's more like it's a prostate medication. It's for men. I used to make it because it helps them with areas of their life. I don't want to go there, but if you guys are interested, it's finasteride. I want to tell you guys this. You know, a lot of people don't know this. They'll see a tablet and maybe throw it away if they're not sure what the tablet is or what it looks like. You can go, so what you can do, you can Google pillfinder.com or just Google pill finder, and you'll get like the first thing that comes up should be a website you click on it and it'll ask you what kind of pill you're looking for. If ever you have a tablet or you find a kid with a tablet or a pill and you don't know where it came from, all you have to do is Google. If you're in your boyfriend's bathroom or your husband's bathroom, or if you're just now dating, or like, you know, you'll see a medication and you don't know what it is in the medicine cabinet. Google it, you know, and you'll find out what it is. I just want to let you guys know, when you are in the pharmacy, any rule and regulation that the medicine come with, if there's a pamphlet or any strange package that come with the medication, please take it seriously. Do not like just, you know, plug it off because you guys are in a rush to fill it. It's very important that you watch everything that's going on with that tablet, because not every tablet is like a amlodipine, you know, or losartan. Like, these tablets really are effective to the person's body. especially when you're dealing with, you don't even know if it's like for a cancer patient, and it'll help them recover in certain things. You just have to be careful when it comes to with these medications. You know, once you get used to it, you'll start knowing. But just breathe. They feel like people are feeling like you're working too slow. That's their problem. It's not yours. Okay. Just don't let nobody rush you, because you want to make sure that what you're doing is right, and when you go home that you are safe with your family. Like the FDA and these companies, they pay to do studies and research on these tablets. So if they tell you that, you know, okay, you can take this tablet. If they tell this cancer patient, okay, oh, you can take this tablet, but it will cause you headaches, you know, to change your skin color, you know, if you touch it. Like, if it tells you these things, it's really gonna happen, because they paid money to research and study, and the FDA requires them to report this information before dispensing. So it's important that we are aware of the things that they're trying to tell us. Don't just ignore them. Take heed, you know. So this is like another very important thing. I don't want to just run this by you guys. This video may be a little long stretch, but this video may save you time and money. So invest in this little time to save time for later. So when you're working as a pharmacy technician, this is a must know. You need to know your calculations. Like, you need to know your math, and you're gonna take the equal sign, multiply it, and then you're gonna calculate from top left to bottom right, and then you're gonna do from top right to bottom left, and then you're gonna take that answer and do a common denominator, and then you're gonna finalize that by breaking it all the way down, breaking the fraction down. Okay. I'm trying to explain it in the best layman terms as I can, so that you guys will understand. You know, the better you understand, the more like you can make a decision from it. Because when the answer is too confusing, then you have to waste time again to go look somewhere else. So I want to just run that by you guys. Just know your calculations, and please, this is very important, know your decimals. Because if the doctor tell you they only want 0.2%, like zero, like you have people, when you're in a pharmacy, you really have to say everything. You can't just say 0.2%. You have to say 0.2% or 0.02%. You can't say 0.02%, because you have other people listening, and if they feel like they want to help, if you get caught up and busy, then they may interpret and take the zero the wrong way, and put the decimal in the wrong spot, and therefore causing a lawsuit and death. If you guys look up a lot of lawsuits from compounding medications, you will see that people have gotten sued from using the wrong decimal. So make sure you're putting a decimal in the right spot. And just like hair, you could always cut hair. You could put little and then you can cut more, but you can't cut here and then want to go back down. So start small, if anything, because you can always add. Make sure that the prescriptions, like when people bring you prescriptions, make sure that they're not tampered with, and make sure that for the doctor, once you get to know a doctor's handwriting, or once you get to know the nurse's handwriting and how they operate, you'll know if prescriptions have been tampered with. And if you're really not sure about a prescription, you can always call to verify and say, I'm calling, my name is, you know, Hazel Michelle, I'm calling to verify a prescription because I just want to make sure that you did authorize refills on this. You can throw in a tweak in there and say, was this prescription written on such date? Or can I verify your address? You can do whatever it takes to verify and clear yourself to make sure that this is a smooth operation and it don't come back to bite you in the butt, okay? Find anything on the prescription that you can relate a topic to, and then start verifying the prescription. Say, by the way, while I got you on the phone, is the patient name spelled like this? Or is the patient name, you can start with their DOB, if the date of birth, or DOB. You get to meet a lot of new people. You have to be respectful. Again, some people are really sick. They'll be home all day, and then they'll come out to get their medications. They may take a little bit of anger out on you, but don't take it personally. It's not necessary. Just keep in mind that you guys, it's just a part of what comes with the territory. Just don't take it too personally, but take it seriously, you know. You have to have a little thick skin because people's mouths can be really ratchet. They can call you everything but the child of God, you know. And then you do have some that will call you the child of God and then follow up with what they feel about you, you know. And just keeping that stuff in mind. And if you all work as a team, you won't really have that problem if the pharmacist come and say, hey, if you keep talking to them this way, I will not fill your prescription. Most pharmacies have the right to deny a patient. You can go fill it at another pharmacy. So just keep that in mind too. Don't be intimidated by it. Be mindful how you speak, but also be mindful how you respond to the patients. Because nowadays everyone has a phone and they can use it against you. Like the pharmacy expect you to be perfect. I'm not gonna lie, they do expect you to be perfect. That's where I think I get a lot of my perfectionist stuff from, because everything has to go through you, and to make your job easier, you might want to double check yourself, because the pharmacists, if they don't feel like working, they're going to send whatever it is back to you, because once you're done with the work, you send it to them, they clear it up, make sure it's legit, and then they send it out. But if it's not legit, then you're going to be working double, because you're going to have to keep tweaking and twerking. Make sure you're looking at the strength, because all the strengths are really different. Sometimes they have new strengths. You have let's just say you have a prescription that's for a lisinopril, 30 milligrams. I think they do have bottles for 30 milligrams, but if you don't have it in stock, you have to rewrite it and say, I'll take 1.5, like 1.5 ml or 1.5 tablets. So you tell them to break it in half when you're dispensing out the medication by the register. Just keeping that stuff in mind, and make sure that your phone is not a distraction, because it can be, and it causes a lot of misfortune. So I hope this video helped you guys. If you guys want me to do any more topics on my position to working as a pharmacy technician, I still have more, because I also worked in a mail order pharmacy, and that was like clearly no one, like it was just myself and the pharmacist. We didn't see anyone, we didn't talk to anyone. It was like the best job ever. Yeah, hopefully this video helped you guys, and if you have any questions, please leave them below, and I will talk to you guys in my next video. Ciao, thank you for watching.